Hello everyone, welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how to set up an IAM user with administrative permissions as well as with MFA assigned. So let's go ahead and see how to do that. Before we do that, we need to sign in to our account. So I'm already on the sign in page here. I'll click to sign in. Because I don't have an IAM user in my account, I'm going to use the root user. So you see root user, the email address I had when I did sign in, the password I have there, and we already set up MFA using the Google Authenticator. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. And as you notice, it's asking me for the password. That's the reason why you have to make sure that you always have access to that password to access your codes. So once I type that correctly, I'm going to click on the code here. That's the one I'm going to use at this moment. And I'm going to sign into the account, right? So I've signed into the account as root user. I want to set up an IAM. The first thing is an IAM user with administrative permissions. How do I do that? I'm going to come on the search bar here. There you have services. And then I'm going to type IAM. I'm going to click on the service IAM. And I can notice that on the left side, I have users here, right? So I can click on users. There is no user at the moment, but there is the option here on the far right to create a user. I'm going to call this user IAM admin. I recommend you do that, especially if you are following the classes or the sessions at Mfoome Cloud. I want to give this user AWS Management Console access, but the user type, I want to create an IAM user, so choose the second option. Custom password, I want to give it a password, and make sure that, again, it's a password that you cannot forget. So I'm typing one that I will not forget because I don't want to change it. The option here that says user must create a new password and next sign in, I don't want that, so I'm going to deselect this option. Then I'm going to come down on the bottom right and click on next, right? So make sure you have your username. You have the second option, I want to create an IAM user, custom password, type a password you can remember. Then you come here, bottom right, click on next. I'm going to save this on my Chrome browser because I access this computer alone. Permissions options, there are different options, but what I'm looking for is attach policies directly. I'm going to choose that option, selecting that. And the policy or permission I'm looking for here is administrative access. That's all I need. I'm going to click here to select that. So once I've selected that, I'm going to scroll right to the bottom right here and click on next. What's going to happen is I'm going to have a review of the options I've just decided on. The username IAM admin. I have a custom password. It does not require a reset. The permissions is administrator access. And now all I'm going to do is now create the user. So I'm going to click on create user. User created successfully. I'm going to have some information here, and I have the last time to see the password, or I can copy that and save somewhere if I'm not sure. I can download all this information also as a .csv file, so you can download that. And then there's the option to copy this sign-in URL, which I recommend that you copy this URL and keep it somewhere that you can have access to. I'm going to show you how that's going to be useful. So make sure you have that saved somewhere, right? So once you've done that, you can also download this if you want. So once you are sure you have all these details, just click on return to users list. Once you click on that, it will give you this warning. You haven't viewed or downloaded this user's password. If you continue, you cannot retrieve the password in future, right? So if you see this and you know that you've had all the information, no problem, go ahead and click on continue. And now on the users, you have one user called IAM admin. So this is the one that we are going to go ahead and set the security credentials, right? So you may want to test first if you are able to sign into this user. So what we are going to do is sign out. If I sign out, I click to sign in now. I don't want to use the root user. I want to use the IAM user. And to do that, if you notice, it's asking me for an account ID. Every account has its ID. It's asking for the IAM user and the password. I have the IAM user and the password. Where do I get the account ID? If I'm the root user, I was able to have that. This is where that URL I asked you to copy and save comes handy. I've copied mine and I'm going to paste that. This is how it did look like. I'm going to paste that on the address bar. And if you notice, once I use that, it automatically fills in the account ID. So if you look into that URL for your own account, it should have the account ID as well. So I'm going to type IAM admin. I'm going to type the password, which I'm very well sure it's going to be correct since I know that. And then I'm going to sign in directly, right? So I've signed in, but as you've noticed, it didn't ask for the multi-factor authenticator. It doesn't have that layer, right? It doesn't ask for any code. Now we want to add those codes. So how do I do it? What you need to do is come to IAM. And if you notice, there are security recommendations. There's a complaint already that there's a user without MFA. For the root user, it has already. I come to the users here. This is the user without MFA. I click on the user, right? So I click on IAM admin to see its properties, permissions, group tags. There is a tab here, security credentials. Click on security credentials. And then come to multi-factor authentication, MFA 0. So click assign MFA device. So this is what we want to do. And we have a dashboard here similar to the one we had when we were setting for the root, except for a few changes. We need to give it a name. I'm going to call this Google Authenticator again. But I'm going to use the name IAM admin because this is for IAM admin user. This is just to help me know which one belongs to who. I'm going to use the Authenticator app. That's the one that we normally use. I'm going to click on next. The same procedure again. I'm going to click on show QR code. And now I need to go get my Google Authenticator that is installed on our browser as an extension. If you have not yet done this, please check my other video on how to install the Google Authenticator extension on your browser. That's the very first video. So if I come here on the Authenticator, I'm going to come to the scan QR code again. I'll click on that. It gives me the possibility to just highlight this box. Let me do that. And if it doesn't work, don't panic. Go back to the Authenticator, go to the QR code. Hope I get it correctly this time. Try to select on that square. Let's see how it goes. And now I've successfully scanned that code and I can click on OK. If I come back to the Authenticator and click on it, I'm able to see that the second set of codes have been added, right? And you see the name here is Amazon Web Service. Now I can know I can't get confused because this one is for root. I did rename this. Although you can see here the names at the bottom can be of help, but I just add that extra naming convention such that it's much clearer for me. So these are the codes that we are going to use. So what am I going to do? I'm going to click on this. Remember, the codes have to come in order. So 06, paste. And then I'm going to click back, open the Authenticator, wait for this to expire. It was just about to expire. And then once the new codes come in, I click, it's copied, and then I add Authenticator and then I add MFA, I should have a message saying MFA device assigned, right? So how do I confirm this is working, right? It shows here multi-factor authentication is virtual, and this one has been assigned. How do I confirm that's working? I'm going to sign out, and then I'm going to try to sign into this account. Luckily, the details here are automatically added. I'm going to click on sign in. Now you see it's asking for an MFA. We didn't do that just a short while ago. Now that we have added, I can come and click. I know this is for the IAM admin, and then I'm able to sign in, and I'm back to my account, right? So if you go back to IAM, you will see that it's all green because you have all the two users, root user and the user you have here, all of them have MFA assigned. The last step before you go to your authenticator, and what I'll suggest again is come to the pencil icon here. But before going there, grab the account ID, then come to the authenticator, do a pencil, click the pencil option and call this IAM admin, small letters. I'm going to use the account. I'm going to call it AWS. Just a naming convention for me, it works, right? So I know this will root this for IAM admin. I may create another user with another name. I'll keep doing that, right? So once this is okay now, I know the password, I know where my codes are, I can sign out, and congratulations, you have been able to set up an IAM admin with MFA activated. So see you in the next videos and happy learning. Bye.